It's great to meet you. Thank you for taking a minute out. And I'd love
Yeah.
to begin our conversation with 4 years ago, we were wrapping our heads around the global pandemic. How did you survive that pandemic and how did it change you?
How long we got? Wow. When I speak to people after I had this conversation, they'll go, "Ah, was it a short conversation?"
Yeah.
Um, it was two prong because of my profession and what I do from the health point of view. I saw it from how people were impacted because of their health, but also because I'm a sole trader, I run my own business. I don't have, it's me. I'm the only one that generates the income. Here in the UK, we were basically um, forgotten about. We were told that we weren't able to run our businesses and we weren't going to get any financial help. So we were basically, as the chancellor, our chancellor's like your Fed person in charge of the Fed. He did say that when he was asked about self-employed people, he said, well, some people will just fall through the cracks. And it made me feel like a piece of dirt falling through a
Wow.
crack. And I lost quite a bit of money during that. So as well as trying to help my clients with their health and deal with this health issue, I also was in the back of my mind going, maybe I won't be in business in 6 months' time. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how long this madness will go on for. So it played a big part in those two. So I threw myself into my business and my clients and said, right, um, I'm not medically trained, but I've been working in health for 25 years and I've got a lot of qualifications and experience in helping people be healthy,
Yeah.
fit and strong. So I went down the road as the fitter and stronger I can make my clients and healthier, the better they're going to be to deal with this health issue, which did prove to happen. And the less healthy you were, the more at risk you were. The fitter and stronger you were, not guaranteed, but you had better odds.
Yeah.
For example, I never had a cold, didn't have a sniffle, didn't have a sneeze, nothing. Still haven't.
Wow.
No, I don't know if that's because I'm a certain health and fitness or anything like that.
Yeah.
But I was in places where if I could catch something, I was going to catch it. you
Yeah.
know, there was one time I was on a plane, a 3 hour flight in 2021, next to a 4-year-old kid who was just sneezing and coughing the whole 3 hours. It's right next to me. And I
Yeah.
thought, okay, if I'm going to get it, it's going to be now, but
Yeah.
nothing.
Wow.
So I try to then pass that on to as many people as I could about, you know, um, sleep, nutrition, exercise, all these things, which a lot of people are missing from their lives anyway.
Yeah.
And not just relying on maybe, the medical profession to help us through this, take individual responsibility and do as much as you can and not just wait, but
Yeah.
be proactive and in being healthy and strong. And my client stayed with me. I rode this out and has come out the other side. I always said to people at the time that when we were in our lockdowns and stuff like that, saying, "Oh, how things are going." So, I'm pretty good at coping with these things that are thrown at me. It's 2 years' time that I'm worried about because that's when it will really hit people financially, mentally, things like that. Ask me this question in 2 years' time, and it'll be a different answer. And it was 2 years on, so 2023, last year, 2022 was tough because people were tightening the belts and, you know, the free money was over and,
Yeah.
reality came back.
Yeah.
So from a business point of view, I always knew it was going to be worse in 2 years' time,
Yeah.
especially for, sole traders, people working on their own, you know, it was always going to be tough. So
It's
that's how it was.
Yeah, well, it stands to reason it's like a recession. When we hear about it, it usually happens from the top, and it takes a little while for that circle to come back to the consumer. So that
Yeah.
makes total sense. Um,
Mm.
so let me ask you this. You have quite a palette of things that you do. If I was to put you in front of a bunch of third graders at career day and one of the kids said, "Hey, what do you do for a living?" How do you answer that child?
I would say that we live in a world where it's encouraged to some extent to be unhealthy. And I help people buck the trend and be fit and strong and free to do what they want to do and not
Yeah.
being held hostage to poor health or treatments. Um, I'm more prevention than treatment.
So what did you want to be in the third grade? What was your dream?
In a third grade. What's third grade? What age is that?
10 or 11 years old.
I wanted to go to every country in the world.
Okay.
My
So,
favorite book as a kid was the Atlas.
okay. Very cool. So,
Hmm.
have you been to many regions around the world already?
I haven't counted up for a while, but I'm in the 120s.
Okay. So you're doing it. You're living the
Yeah.
dream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But to do that, I need to run my own business.
Yeah. Right. Right.
I need to go when I can go and not
Uh-huh.
be told, you can only go in August or you can only go in February. I'll
Yeah.
go when I want to go. Thanks. So
Exactly.
I suppose that has driven me to be independent and work for myself because of that's the only way I think I can deliver on that promise.
Yeah. So, who's been a hero or or inspiration for you in your life?
Um, I can't name one person. I know it's corny, but I'd say everyone.
Okay.
I'm fascinated by human behavior.
Yeah.
Um, I'm not a religious person. I don't believe in an afterlife. But what I'm annoyed about is I only live for a certain amount of years, and then I don't get to see how the story ends. I know how the story began. I can see what's happening, how the story is going. There's going to be a point where I don't get to see how it ends, and that's really annoys me because I like to see how things end.
Yeah.
So I'm inspired by everyone because I'm
Yeah.
only here for a very short time. Like I've only just met you, but I'm inspired by someone living in Lee Summit wants to get on a call with me, and we live
Yeah.
in a world of technology. I
Yeah.
grew up. We immigrated to New Zealand from England when I was 9, and I
Okay.
came back. And I remember the days where you did an international call,
Uh-huh.
and then
Rotary
go,
dial.
wait a second, caller, and then someone will speak, and you have to wait, and then you
Yeah.
speak. And now I'm on a video call with someone in Lee Summit.
It's wild.
So that's what inspires me. So I can't
Yeah.
name one person. Um, it's more, if you want to put a finger on this very British thing, Churchill,
Yeah.
Winston Churchill.
Okay.
Um, not because of his personality, him, but what he ended up doing. And I'm just recently reading a biography on him. Just the stuff he had to put up with,
Yeah.
just mind blowing.
Yeah.
That he had all these things going on, and everyone just looked at him and said, "Help." And he was like, and he just got on with it. Just didn't moan. It didn't, have a hissy fit or anything like that. He just, right, this is what we're doing. And his conviction and his belief um, was just unwavered. He just got on with it. And so if you want me to give a name, yeah,
Yeah.
Winston Churchill.
He was like Babe Ruth. Half the time he was drunk. You didn't know how he was doing what he was doing. It was like, I remember seeing a statue when I was there, and I think they took the cigar out of his hand. Is that true?
I don't know
There's,
about that. I don't
okay.
know.
I thought
Yeah.
there was
I
some
think so.
help. What's
No.
that?
Yeah, probably some help. Yeah.
Yeah, and we have to be so politically correct. We have to scour our history. So anyway,
Yeah.
it was weird.
Yeah. Well, this is the thing. There's now people trying to rubbish him, and everyone's flawed. Everyone's
Yeah.
got things they've messed up. And we can look back on people and go, oh, that's, bad person. 200 years' time, people will be looking back at our time and going, really? Did you
Oh
do
yeah.
that?
Oh
Wow.
man.
That's crazy. But we think we are better than everyone's gone before us because we're at the tip of the spear. But
Yeah.
that spear is growing, and we'll be looked back on and going, "Well, those people back in 2020 were weird. What did they did that? That's crazy." So I look back at people in the past, and yeah, there's faults and things that that we wouldn't accept today. But if you look at the whole picture of someone's life and see what they achieved, Churchill's up there
Yeah.
to there was a period where we're on, it sounds dramatic, but we're on our own. You guys hadn't come in yet. We're just on our own.
Yeah.
And he just stood up and said, this is what we're going to do. And
Yeah.
we're not backing down. And
Yeah.
I'm sure you would love Tom Petty's song, Don't Back Down.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
you listen to that song, that's Churchill. He just didn't back down.
Yeah.
Where everyone around him was saying, we've got to, give, peace talks, or we got to go and, give up. And he was saying, no, we
Right.
stand now, bam. And I respect people like that. And a lot of what my coaching is teaching people how to be resilient.
Yeah.
I do a lot of nutrition and exercise and all those things that people can go on the internet and learn themselves. What people don't have, or people are lacking, is the resilience, perseverance, being
Yeah.
able to just keep
Yeah.
progressing, one foot in front of the other, one foot in front of the other. And I think that's the biggest thing missing from the health industry. We don't teach that. We teach you how to do a deadlift, or teach you what carbs you should have and how much fat you should have in your diet. But no one teaches, can you keep doing it
Yeah.
day after day after day after day? And I'm trying to get out there and teach as many people as I can to first build resilience, and then anything you get given, you can do.
Yeah.
But without that resilience, everything you get told to do is kind of, you know, not going to work.
Yeah.
Just I've seen it so many times. So one message from today is just to tell your listeners, just stay in the game, is a good old
Yeah.
American. Just don't tap out. Just
Right.
stay.
Stay in the
Just
game.
yeah,
So,
keep fighting.
what is the motivator for you every day to get up, to do all the work that you do, to stay healthy, to help your clients be healthy, and to evolve as a human? What is that motivation for you?
I've got an average 80 years of existence. That's what gets me out of bed in the morning,
Yeah.
because I'm only here for a blink. Um, and I've been, as I said, over 120 countries, but God, I've so much I haven't seen.
Yeah.
Even those countries I've been to, I only scratched the surface. So I could go back to every single country I've already been to and still have so much to see.
Yeah.
And I kind of think, how all the libraries in the world, and for you younger viewers, it's where we used to have books,
Yeah.
books and read. Um, I would love to go to every library in the world and just pick out a book, and maybe with AI, I could then have it translated to me as I read. Um, and I think to myself, how many books are out there that I haven't
Yeah.
read? Um, how much knowledge is there still left? And I've got an 80 years on average to get it all.
Yeah.
So better get out of bed.
Yeah. I agree. I totally agree. So, of all of these places that you've been to, what was one of the most unexpectedly magical, beautiful places that you went to?
Um, I'll give you two answers then. One for the country as in the geographic, and one for the people. For the people, Syria, um, probably the most friendly people I've ever come across. And um, because you don't know anything about it. There's nothing, you know, you go to Syria and you don't, anything you experience is new. You haven't heard anything about them or that. So those people are really friendly. They come up and talk to you and you go, what are you trying to sell me? And then they wouldn't sell you anything. They just walk on. You go, they actually just wanted to talk to me. That's
Yeah.
really nice. And
Yeah.
because there's no Western, um, chains or businesses there, it's just authentic. It's Syria. So that's for the people. For the geography, I spent many years in New Zealand. So I would say, in a little nutshell, that's pretty beautiful. But the country I keep going back to, I'm sure you're going to go, you love this, but United States of America. Not
Yeah.
because I love the Americans, I love the country, but if you took all the Americans out and all the infrastructure and no human existence, it's just phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's just everywhere you go. You know, I've been to the East Coast, the West Coast, through the middle, everywhere you go, it's just like, wow,
Yeah.
this is something. And then you put the people in there and then in the country itself, and that's even makes it better.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're probably America's one I keep going back to, so it must be something.
Yeah. Right. For sure. So, of all of these clients that you've helped, what's one of your favorite client success stories?
Um, I get asked this a lot, and I never really have an answer.
Yeah.
Success story is probably. Um, I have a tendency to keep my clients. So I've got some clients that have been with me for 20 years,
Yeah.
so which I'm quite proud of. Um, but it's the clients I bump into, ex-clients I bump into, and they go, you know what you taught me 10 years ago? Still doing it. Okay, good. You listened. You
Yeah.
took it on. I wasn't just, wasting oxygen.
Yeah.
So they're probably the success stories because when you're in with people, you just assume, well, they come to me to be successful. So when they are successful, you go, throw them away. It's the ones that have moved on and then they come back and go, yeah, that was of great value to me because I'm still benefiting from it 10 years on or 20 years on.
Yeah.
So ones. Yeah.
So
Mm.
you give a lot of good advice to your clients, but what's the best advice you've ever gotten?
Um, don't it was my dad actually, and we're chalk and cheese. Not less so as we got older. When
Yeah.
I was younger, chalk and cheese. I was into sport and fitness. Dad, he's a carpenter by trade, likes getting under a bonnet of a car. Not me.
Yeah.
Um, but he said to me, if you walk into when you walk into a room with people, make out that you don't know anything because they'll tell you something you don't know. Or if you go into a room and make out that you know everything, then people won't tell you anything because they assume you already know it. And therefore you don't learn anything. You might know 90% of what they're telling you, but
Yeah.
it's that 10%
Yeah.
that they'll tell you go, ah. But if you've gone in and made out that you know everything, then they don't tell you it because you already know it. So
Yeah.
that's probably the best advice to
That's
do, which I'm
interesting.
still learning.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. That's a great piece of advice. So of all of these things that you've done in your life and evolved into, what are you the proudest of?
Still being alive.
Yeah. I
I,
dig it.
it's a thing about being grateful. I'm not that sort of person that I wake, before I go to bed every night, I'm grateful for blah, blah, blah. But when I do go, if we do get a clear night here in England, I do, before I go to bed, look out the window and I I look at a star, just any random star, and I try to picture what is going on around that star right now. Is there life? Is it just rocks going around? Is it, whatever,
Yeah.
billions of miles away? And I go, they don't even know I exist. They have no idea that I'm looking at that star where they're going around or whatever. So I'm pretty fortunate.
Yeah. What
Pretty
a great
fortunate.
perspective. Great
Yeah.
perspective. So everyone has a perception of you, family, friends, clients, but you run the show. What's your perception of you? Who do you think you are?
Um, I'm opinionated. You'll know my opinion. Hopefully it's because you've asked for it and I just haven't given it. But I'm opinionated to the point where I was saying to someone the other day, um, people are rushed to opinions
Yeah.
too easily. And then they stick to their opinion because they don't want to be proven wrong. Where I feel I take my time to form an opinion. But when I'm formed it, I can then pretty much be quite educated in that. To then, if you ask why have you got that opinion, I'll be able to articulate it to you for you to go, oh, I can see why you got that opinion, instead of just having an opinion for the sake of having an opinion.
Yeah.
But what I would like people say on my grave, he didn't tolerate bullies. I hate bullies. I'm not just talking about people on people. I'm talking about big industries. I'm talking about people in power, bullying subconsciously as much as consciously,
Yeah.
bullying people into doing things, and making people too scared to be opinionated, to be individual and say, no, I don't agree with this. Listen to me. I don't like that. And you started this conversation about COVID. There was a lot of that going on, and that boiled my blood. That people were being bullied, and the bullies were getting other people to do their bullying for them,
Yep.
and that really shook me a bit because I thought we were better than that. So
Yeah.
that's kind of changed my perspective on a lot of people,
Yeah.
which hasn't been healthy because you live among people you've got to trust.
Yeah.
But it shook that. So I would like to think that people say he will protect me against a bully.
Yeah.
He will
Great
fight my
answer.
corner. Yeah.
Yeah. So if anyone wants to reach out, hire you, learn more about you, where's the best place to go?
Best place is I've got a YouTube channel called Over 50 and Strong. Or you can go to Twitter. I still call it Twitter.
Yeah,
Um, um, and that's my health coach 3. I have to put a number on the end.
yeah.
And then Facebook is my health coach.
Okay.
So at my health coach. So they're the easiest ways to get hold of me. I've got a website, but people don't remember website names.
Right.
That's the quickest way, and just message me or just watch my stuff and see if it's your sort of thing.
Okay,
So,
perfect. Chris, it's so great to meet you. It's a small world. Travel well with your Lee Summit friends this summer, and best of luck with everything.
thank you.
Thank you, sir. Take care.